The chosen ones represent the true power of life. They boldly take the stage, where everyone else blends in with the crowd and gets lost in the comfort of mediocrity. Your light is like the approaching heat of the sun. It increases as it gets closer and envelops everything around you. But remember that not everyone is built to withstand these flames. Those who interact with you are both mesmerized and a little chilled in that moment of realization of true greatness. Because you are the kind of greatness that demands to be taken seriously, not satisfied with pleasant smiles and superficial courtesies. This kind of greatness leaves a lasting impression on them. They are motivated, admired, and perhaps secretly afraid. Research even shows that people remember emotional moments more clearly than mundane ones. So you become an unforgettable chapter in their story. So that the chosen ones don't just watch from the sidelines. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video before moving on. Together we build, rise, and triumph. Let's get your spirit moving. But what they often don't know is that while they are enjoying your light, they are also accepting a little burnout. Because perfection doesn't come with a warning label. Your honesty and passion are unabashedly real and intense. Even if they thought they were ready for your presence, in reality, they were as ready as someone trying to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops. The chosen ones know this truth and continue on their own path. In the end, everyone learns. True power belongs to the one who speaks the truth. That is why everyone eventually learns who is the boss. It is about the indisputable impact of your presence, not just admiration. When someone approaches a chosen one instead of just seeing greatness, they experience it. Once you experience it, there is no turning back. Are you ready to discover what it means to be this natural force? Let's get started. First of all, your magnificence is a mirror. When someone approaches a chosen one, it is a revelation rather than just an encounter. Your splendor acts as a mirror, reflecting aspects of them that they may not have realized before. This is not always flattering. When they are with you, they begin to see not just your achievements or your potential, but everything they have avoided seeing in themselves. All their repressed dreams, all their hidden fears, and all their justifications. Like a frightening reality they cannot escape, it all comes to the surface. It is no coincidence that you are here. If you feel the pull and know deep down that you have been chosen, this is your time. Click the Super Thank button and donate $50 or more to access additional in-depth information, unique material, and a course in alignment with your divine destiny. This is not just a contribution. It is a declaration and a step towards becoming the person you are destined to be. Accept the call. Join us as we walk and truly embrace your destiny. Your adventure has only just begun. You are as much a conflict as you are an inspiration. You remind them what is possible, and more importantly, what they have been putting off without saying a word. Even if people respect your power, deep down they wonder why they can't reach that level. What is holding me back? Can I really achieve such greatness? Even if you don't want to, you have made them see their own shortcomings. This level of clarity is not for everyone. Write the number 33 in the comments to let the cosmos know you are ready. But not all of them are terrible. Besides showing the cracks, the mirror also shows their potential. When they see how awesome you are, some people will get excited. They will feel compelled to be that person after seeing a version of themselves they didn't believe existed. But for others, the distance between where they are and where they could be may cause them to hold back. In any case, your influence is undeniable. Whether you push them to take responsibility or make them face their anxieties, you have made an impact. You are here for a reason. If you feel chosen, it is time to answer the call. By clicking the Join button, you can access deep insights, unique information, and a powerful community willing to accompany you on your journey. This is an opportunity to fully embrace your divine destiny and seize the path designed for you. It is more than just a membership. Do not hesitate. Step forward and become one of the chosen ones. The second is that you are a strange norm. For someone to feel your greatness is not only breathtaking, but also unnerving. You become a benchmark that they are not aware of, proof that they are setting goals too low, or that they are settling for just enough. You are the level. You just don't exist at that level. They are not even close to it, which is an uncomfortable reality. As soon as they see the gap between who they are and who they could be, they start judging themselves. It is not a judgment you make about them. Your presence is an unspoken challenge that never goes away. They cannot relax or go back to their habits in your presence because you have downplayed their habits. Suddenly, the small victories they used to celebrate seem meaningless, like participation trophies given to them to justify their continued mediocrity. Once in your orbit, they are forced to reevaluate what they believed was enough. This is not only scary, it is terrifying, because deep down they realize that living up to your standards requires real effort. It requires compromises they are not prepared to make, and a discipline they have not encountered before. Most people spend their whole lives avoiding this degree of honesty. You lay out their reasons and their possibilities, yet they cannot leave. Your presence has a magnetic pull because you are a living example of what is possible. They see in you the benefits of greatness, admiration, success, and the indisputable vitality you provide. However, the closer they get, the more they realize the cost. You remind them of the price they do not have to pay for greatness. You are more than a better standard. They were playing it safe, and you are the bitter truth. Moreover, the truth is not always easy to accept. Third, they fear the heat but are attracted to the light. Similar to the way moths are attracted to light, humans are naturally attracted to brightness. It has a magnetic quality that cannot be denied. When they approach you, they feel an attraction that goes beyond admiration, something they cannot quite put their finger on. Your presence, your energy, and the confident, purposeful way you go about your life is seductive. However, they don't realize until they get very close that the same light that attracts them also generates heat. What's more, the heat can be uncomfortable. By entering the 88, you can claim those benefits that will lead to more opportunities in your life, such as professional success, financial success, business success, health, and all your heart's desires. Being around you is not only motivating, but also intense. People are impressed by your determination, clarity, and unwillingness to accept anything less than perfect. Not everyone is prepared for the fact that they will have to face their own lack of effort or direction. At first, they may like the way your energy makes them feel. But when the intensity starts to burn away their comfort zones, justifications, and delusions, it becomes much more difficult to deal with. The challenge and the opportunity to move forward will continue to attract some. Instead of seeing the heat as a danger, they will see it as an opportunity to grow, to toughen up and become stronger. However, many will retreat, not because they don't respect you, but because they are not ready to be challenged. They want the glory of success without the pain of responsibility. Your light has a weight. It is not just there to illuminate a space or to cheer people up. Not everyone has the courage to resist it, and this changes the space it penetrates. Only from a safe distance, from a place where they can feel your brilliance unaltered by the flames, can some people truly admire you. And that's okay. Not everyone is built for greatness. Fourth, you choose a frequency they have never heard before. The interaction with you is an exchange in energy rather than just words or time spent. Most people have never heard the frequency you work with before, a frequency that resonates rather than just transmits. They cannot understand exactly what it is, but they feel it. They are forced to see and feel the world in a way they have never done before, because of the way your presence cuts through the clutter of their daily lives. It is as destructive as it is fascinating. Your perspective, your thought process, and the way you overcome obstacles does not fit the typical mold that most people are used to. While they are only interested in the obvious, you see connections, chances, and truths that others don't even know exist. Your innate view of the universe contradicts their way of thinking, not because you're trying to outsmart them. And this can be as frustrating as it is exciting. They rarely leave a discussion with you in the same state as when they first arrived. They are forced to reevaluate decisions they made without much thought, to question what they previously believed to be true, and sometimes even to question what they believe to be true about themselves. It is as if you have changed the way they think about life, and they cannot go back to their previous thought patterns. This kind of contact is rare and difficult for most individuals to deal with. While others feel confused, even overwhelmed, others are encouraged, empowered, and willing to explore more within themselves. They have now been exposed to a frequency that requires more awareness, effort, and honesty. And for those who have the courage to pay attention, the world will never be the same. Fifth, they admit that they are never prepared. Dreams of being surrounded by splendor are common. They imagine what it would be like to be around someone extraordinary and to see genius up close. They believe they are prepared for it, but they have never been prepared. And when the time comes, reality hits them like a freight train. Your presence is not simply remarkable, it is overwhelming. It is not the kind of splendor that waits for approval to exist or lurks in a corner. It is the kind that attracts attention, confronts the surrounding atmosphere, and instantly changes the dynamic of any space. Being close to you makes them realize how little they are playing. You don't need to overshadow them, so you don't do it on purpose. Everything they exclude, ignore, or minimize in their own lives is reflected in your whole being, which becomes a mirror. This is a humble awakening. They become aware of the gaps, the times they have made excuses, the times they have acquiesced, and the ways in which they have blocked themselves. They realize that their illusion of preparedness is based on an unproven trust. Even if they believed they were ready to stand with greatness, they were not ready for what greatness had in store for them. But this is not cruelty. Making people feel inferior just for the sake of it is not the goal. It serves as a wake-up call and an opportunity to identify areas of growth and areas where they are lacking. Some people will experience something incredible as a result of this time. They will use the suffering as motivation to become a better version of themselves. Others may find the reality too much to bear. In any case, you have shown them what true preparation looks like, so they will never forget the moment they discovered they were not ready. Sixth, they cannot ignore you. When someone experiences your excellence, it leaves a lasting impression. It's not just a moment or a brief experience. It's an encounter with something marvelous that changes their whole perspective. Even if they didn't anticipate it, they can't ignore the opportunities you have provided after being in your company. For them, you are not just a person, but a living, breathing example of what is possible. You show them a degree of perseverance, self-control, and foresight that they perhaps thought was the stuff of fiction. One thing is certain: whether people respect you, envy you, or fear you, they will never see the world the same way again. Their perspective is changed by your presence, and it allows them to see what someone who does not accept mediocrity can do. This is the spark that some people long for. You become a yardstick by which people judge themselves, a reference point that pushes them to set bigger goals, to strive harder, and to think more broadly. Whenever they falter or consider settling for less, remembering you will encourage them to keep going. Others may be affected by this experience in a different way. Instead of taking on the task, they may retreat into their comfort zone, tormented by the knowledge of what they have decided to avoid. But even then, they cannot forget you. You will not remain a shadow in their thoughts, but a reminder of a path they chose not to follow. It doesn't matter whether you have inspired them or unsettled them. The moment they realized what true greatness looks like, you became an indelible part of their story. And no matter where life takes them, they will always remember what it was like to meet someone who pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Seventh, you are not a comforter. You are a catalyst. When I first met you, it was not like a warm embrace. You don't come into someone's life to console them or to reaffirm their ordinariness. You are a catalyst, not a comforter. You have to awaken something in them that they are not aware of. The moment they look at you, something changes. They feel it in their stomach. You are not providing a feeling of comfort or calmness. On the contrary, you are challenging them, pushing them, and making them face their limits. You don't allow them to stay in their current position. You don't pat them on the back or tell them that their efforts are enough. You don't accept their justifications or forgive them for being lazy. You show them what is possible and make them wonder why they are playing so small. They may not like this at first. They may resent you for making them feel uncomfortable and for making them realize how much more they can do. But in reality, they need it. They wanted someone to push them in a way that no one else had done, to turn their universe upside down, to wake them up from the sleep of mediocrity. Because of the fire you have ignited in them, some people will rise to the challenge, their brains ablaze with the potential for greatness. But some will avoid it. They will retreat to the safety of their old habits, because it is too difficult for them to face the truth you have given them. No matter how they decide, they will not be able to deny your influence on them. It is not your purpose to make people feel comfortable about staying the same. The purpose of your existence is to inspire people to reach their full potential. Being a growth catalyst is not always pleasant, but it is always necessary. The eighth is that they feel the weight of honesty. Depending on whether a person is ready to face it or not, authenticity has a weight. A weight that either pulls them in or pushes them away. It's not just your talent, brilliance, or charm that makes an impression on others. It's the simple, unabashed truth you speak. In a world where so many people hide behind well-made masks, your rawness is like a spotlight shining clearly on everything others try to hide behind well-made masks. It is not often that people meet someone who lives their truth. You are not just talking. Honesty has a fascinating quality because it is rare. Your freedom, the way you own who you are without needing validation, is what draws others to you. However, other people find that same sincerity frightening. It exposes the holes in their self-deception, the roles they play to fit in, and the lies they tell themselves. Your presence reminds them of the aspects of themselves they have repressed, and such a confrontation is difficult to manage. There is no room for pretense when they are around you. They have to reciprocate your sincerity, whether they like it or not. Being close to you is liberating for people who are ready to accept their reality. They see the possibilities that open up when you stop pretending and start living a life without shame. However, for those who still wear masks, it is easier to hide than to face someone so real. Being real is not just a quality, it is a strength. It causes individuals to reassess who they are, who they want to be, and whether they are ready to present themselves as they really are, upsetting the comfortable illusions they have built about themselves. Ninth, you remind us that convenience is the enemy. It's like being the center of attention when there's nowhere to hide. You are a true example of how complacency hinders progress. People who are complacent, avoid challenges, or are used to sticking to what seems safe may find it unpleasant that you not only talk about progress, but live it in every action you take. None of this will result in anything significant, as your presence serves as a clear reminder. No one will get away with it because of you. You don't give up. You don't take the easy way out, and you don't wait for things to happen to you. Your behavior, attitude, and self-motivation make others wonder why they get away with it for so long. They may have convinced themselves that they are too busy, too tired, or too afraid to take risks. But as they stand by your side, they begin to see that they are putting comfort ahead of progress. And this reality is hard to face. You are the wake-up call they need, but don't know how to ask for. So you are not a bad person for it. You are telling them that staying in their comfortable and safe environment and doing the same thing every day will not lead to real change. Taking risks, pushing boundaries, and enduring the pain of going beyond one's comfort zone is necessary for growth. Such change requires stepping into the unknown, leaving one's comfort zone, and accepting the challenge. This revelation is not pleasant. Indeed, it is perhaps one of the most unsettling realities anyone can face. But those who take transformation seriously do not back down from it. They will rise to the occasion, knowing that the suffering they experience in your presence is what will enable them to achieve the greatness they have denied themselves. 10th, you make them doubt their own abilities. When someone meets you, the illusion that they are good enough disappears. Before you met them, they may have gotten into a comfortable routine of doing just enough to get by and believed that was all they needed. They may have convinced themselves that it is enough to achieve simple goals, to escape the spotlight, or to achieve an unexciting success. However, they will soon realize that their definition of good enough is actually a front to hide their indifference when they encounter you. Because of your greatness, you cannot tolerate mediocrity. Instead of just succeeding, you exceed. You push the boundaries of what is doable, instead of just trying to do it. By doing this, you make them see the difference between where they are and where they could be. It has nothing to do with superiority. It has to do with never accepting anything less than your best. The uncomfortable truth is that they shouldn't either. This is a wake-up call for some people. They become more ambitious. They want to take charge, and they start pushing themselves beyond their perceived limits. They have two choices: either seize the opportunity and reach your new standard, or remain in the safe, shallow seas of mediocrity. But others find this too much. They are forced to face the reality they have been avoiding. The real effort, sacrifice, discipline, and hard work required to achieve excellence. The pressure of your brilliance. Your presence requires you to act. Either you rise to the occasion, or you walk away knowing that you can do much more than you are willing to do. It does not allow reasons, excuses, or the comfort of good enough. 11th, you leave a lasting impression on others. You don't just lose energy when you leave. It continues to reverberate in their minds long after you leave, like an aftershock. It has nothing to do with what you said or did at the time. The intensity you radiate, the way you challenge people, and the way you hold yourself are the invisible forces of your being that cling to them. Everything is absorbed in ways that are difficult to overcome. A spark that ignites something in them will be seen by some as a source of inspiration. It will motivate people to take action, to step outside their comfort zone, and reconsider their possibilities. They will relive the interaction in their brains, remembering how you spoke with purpose, how you carried yourself with confidence, and made them reevaluate their limitations just by existing. A seed has been planted by your enthusiasm, and as it grows, it motivates them to overcome the challenge you have inadvertently created. But for others, it will not be an inspiration. It is regret. They will remember how they faltered, how they failed to step up, and how they allowed uncertainty or fear to prevent them from doing better or being better when they had the opportunity. Your energy reminds them of what they failed to achieve and what they could have achieved in life if they had tried as hard as you did. Either way, your influence stays with them. You become a force they cannot ignore and a touchstone they cannot forget. Your energy haunts them because it reflects the splendor they know they have, but are afraid to acknowledge. Even when you are no longer there, your influence will continue to influence their choices, behaviors, and ideas for a very long time. 12. They want to be like you, but they don't want to pay for it. People are attracted to you like moths because of your magnetic perfection. After seeing your achievements, accolades, and influence, they desire it. They want the respect and admiration of having achieved something great, as well as the satisfaction of knowing that they have done it. But the cost of getting there is something people often don't realize. It's easy to appreciate the outcome without taking into account the relentless dedication, restless nights, and ongoing sacrifices that led to this achievement. They consider your current situation, but may not always want to recognize the years of hard work, lost opportunities, or setbacks along the way. They envy your end product, but don't understand that it took a lot more effort to get there than most people are prepared to put in. They want to emulate your excellence, but when they see the cost, the amount of courage, the degree of dedication, the sacrifices of comfort and personal time, they start to reconsider. They don't want the challenge, but they want the benefits. The bitter truth is that they want fame without hardship. It takes extraordinary work to be extraordinary, and not everyone is ready to pay the price. Your success attracts them, and they admire you from afar. But when they realize how difficult it is to get there, they fail. It is one thing to aspire to greatness, but it is quite another to be determined to achieve it. The cost is too high for most people. But for those who are prepared to persevere, sacrifice, and work hard along the way, greatness becomes more than a dream. It becomes a model of what can be achieved. 13. Your words are not as loud as your silence. Your silence has a weight that most people's words can never convey. Your presence speaks for itself, so there is no need to fill the air with explanations or arguments. It is about the depth and confidence that comes from understanding who you are, not about hiding or being evasive. Your superiority is immediately obvious when you enter the room, so there is no need to proclaim it. When you are quiet, people are forced to listen to you. In a world where everyone is vying for attention, your peaceful restraint stands out. It is a presence of purpose, not a lack of words. It is up to individuals to fill in the blanks and evaluate what they are doing, thinking, or avoiding. This presents them with unexpected problems. Your silence forces people to come to their own conclusions instead of offering solutions. This is what sets you apart from others. Most individuals use words to establish their authority, to gain respect, or to make a point. But you do not have to do this. The power of presence is something you have mastered. Without uttering a single word, your actions, your enthusiasm, and the results you achieve speak for themselves. This calm assurance is magnetic. You attract people to you because your presence forces them to face the truths they have been avoiding, not because you express what they want to hear. You challenge them even when you don't speak. Your silence is charged, not empty. It forces people to think deeper, to ask more questions, to think about things they never dared to think about before. And this is the most effective kind of communication, the kind that leaves an impact without saying a word. It's proof that greatness is not just about your actions. It's also about the profound impact you have on other people. Number 14. You are an unstoppable force. Instead of accepting the status quo, you break it. Being great means more than motivating others. It also means pushing them to reach new heights, to go beyond their comfort zone and face harsh realities that many would rather avoid. Instead of calming or coddling people, you challenge their preconceived notions about their own potential by igniting and provoking them. Whether people accept it or not, you leave behind a path of change. However, no one who comes into contact with you will leave unchanged. You remind them that true progress requires suffering rather than ease. People are attracted to you because you don't let anyone off the hook. Deep down inside, they understand that greatness is hard, but worth the sacrifice. You are the standard, the barrier, and the motivation they didn't realize they needed. And for years to come, they will remember the day you forced them to face their truth, the day you pulled them out of their complacency and set them on a course towards greater things. You are a catalyst for long-lasting change rather than a temporary effect. And this is the power of your greatness. It leaves its imprint on those lucky or brave enough to experience it, and it never fades or softens. Don't let this moment fade into the background if it has affected you. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch and learn more about the world of greatness. Share this with anyone who needs a reminder to reach their full potential, and hit the like button if you felt the fire. Tell us in the comments section how this challenged you or ignited something in you. Making the choice to take action is the first step on the road to success, so do it right now.